Hello and welcome once again to Akusia's vlog. Today we are going to prepare Ghana butter bread. Are you looking for a delicious and easy way to make butter bread? In this video I'm going to show you how to make butter bread in just a few simple steps. Discover the secret ingredient that makes your butter bread extra delicious and learn the best way to enjoy it. Make your own delicious butter bread today. So for the ingredients, I have my bread flour, my vanilla essence, salt to taste, I have some sugar, I have my yeast, my nutmeg, and then my butter. In a bowl, I'm going to activate the yeast by pouring warm water into the bowl, and then I'm going to add a tablespoonful of sugar and then a tablespoonful of my yeast. I'm going to give it a quick stir, cover it with my cling film. You can use normal plate to cover it and then allow it to sit for 10 to 15 minutes to activate the gluten. Today, I'm going to show you a different way of making your bread as we used another method for the sugar bread recipe in our previous video. And as we are baking, we need to give accurate measurements. So I'm going to sift 4 cups of my bread flour or hard flour, and then I would continue with the process. I'm doing this because I do not want any lumps in my flour. After, I'm going to add a teaspoon of my nutmeg, a teaspoon of salt, and then I'm going to add about 100 grams of my butter into it. If you are using the normal Ghana butter bread, make sure you use just 70 grams of it. And then you give it a quick stir. You can wash your hands and then dip it right inside and mix it together, or you can use a spatula or your whisk to do this. There are so many ways of making bread, and this is another recipe or another technique of making your bread. Now, after 15 minutes, the yeast has activated. You know that it's really activated when it's foamy on top of it, and then you continue with the process. Now I forgot to add the vanilla essence, so I'm adding a tablespoonful of it, and then I'll add my activated yeast into it. After, it's time to mix it well till it's well incorporated. So I'm going to dip my hands in it. Wash your hands and then do it. But then for those who are very sensitive, I have to wear my gloves to mix this one. Trust me, it's better when you use your normal hands to mix it. After, I'm going to add additional warm water of about 100 grams of it, and then I'll mix it till it's well combined. Now, a technique I learned from my mother was that when you are adding water to an already mixed dough or butter, you have to add it to the powdery part of it. Enti se wodi nsuo ne guma onwe sam na enka mfra ye no fagu hono wia no asa atobo na wayam anase wakani nyina afra. So you need it till the bowl comes out clean, or all the dough on your palms are clean enough or clear. And then when you think the dough is watery, don't add any extra flour because you're going to spoil the recipe. Continue mixing till it's dry enough. Don't add any extra water or any extra flour to the recipe. When you're done, you transfer it onto your work surface, but before that, you have to dust it with some flour. Be generous with it, and then you start kneading. If you have a hand mixer, feel free to use it. You're going to knead it for just 10 minutes. But if you're using your hand, today I'm using my hand because in the Ghana sugar bread recipe, I used my stand mixer. So I'm going to teach those of us who do not have any machine to knead their bread how to go about it in today's video. So use the heel of your palm, you press it and then you roll it. You press, you roll it like I'm doing, and then when you're done, it should be smooth enough after 15 to 20 minutes. This one requires a lot of muscle, trust me. If you don't have that muscle or you're not ready to exercise your muscle, please use your machine to do it. So when it's smooth enough and when you dip your finger inside it and it bounces back, it means that your batter or your dough is ready. Transfer it into a clean bowl. This time round, we are going to cover it for about 30 minutes or till it doubles in size, and then we will continue with the process. Make sure to put it in a warmer place, and then you start coating your pans with some of the butter and then some flour. So after 25 minutes, this is how it looks like. Our dough has doubled in size, so we are going to deflate it to make sure that all the bubbles or air that was trapped inside is out of it before molding it into a desirable shape. When you're done, transfer it onto your working surface, divide it into two, and then you continue with the process. When you're done, it's time to roll it. So I'm going to coat my rolling pin with some butter and then roll it till it's flat enough. Then you fold it in like I'll be demonstrating. I think the rest is self-explanatory, so you can do as I'm doing or as I'm showing you, and then you continue with the process. Now this stage is also optional. You can do away without the tacking it in or rolling it all together and just mold it right away. But then we want our butter bread to be soft and very smooth after we are done baking it. And also when you roll it, you continue to activate the gluten, which makes bread very chewy and elastic. Whilst rolling, make sure the edges are almost straight enough or almost closer to being straight and can fit into your baking pan, and then you start rolling it. So at this stage, you roll, you tack it in, you roll, you tack it in like I'm demonstrating. We are tacking it in because if you don't do it after your bread is baked, is going to have holes inside it, and we don't want that. So you roll, you press the edges to the one under, and then you roll again. This is very simple to make, and whilst rolling too, you can focus on the edges. You can tack it right inside, or you can leave it like I left mine, and then you get a different shape altogether. So you continue to roll and then you tack it in. Is this not so simple to make in the comfort of your house? You know, flour is one of the cheapest products, and you can make your own bread in the house without any hassle. For the latter part, you have to tack it in well. This is the stage where we are closing our batter or our bread dough, so you really have to tighten it up. If you don't do it and then you baking, it's going to tear up, and we don't want that. So you tack it in like I'm showing you, and then after you give it one quick roll to make sure that it's smoothing beautifully. So we're done, and it's time to transfer it into our greased pan. This is to allow the bread to proof or to rise for the second time before we transfer it into our oven. So I'm going to cover it with a clean napkin and then put it in the warmer place till it doubles in size. Now this procedure that I'm doing is also optional, but I prefer to just glaze it with a little bit of butter before I put it right into my oven. So I preheated it at 180 degrees Celsius and I'm going to bake this for 25 minutes. This is how it looks like after the 25 minutes. So we will allow it to cool a little bit before taking it out of our baking tin, and just look at how soft and dense it is. Now you can eat this with any beverage of your choice. I prefer to eat mine with Milo drink, and trust me, it's so delicious. You can just put some butter in it whilst it's hot and it's also very good. Or you can use your granite paste or peanut butter inside with your chocolate spread or any spread of your choice too. Now look at how soft and look at how well cooked or well baked our butter bread is. Now this is so simple and I would like to have your feedback on yours when you made it. So till we see each other next time, is bye bye.